Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Canary Wharf, a place where the past and the future stand side by side. Today, when people think of Canary Wharf, they think of shining skyscrapers, global banks, luxury apartments, fast trains, and business power. They see suits, screens, stock markets, and international companies. But this place was not always like this. In fact, if we traveled back in time almost 200 years, we would not see glass towers at all. We would see ships, huge ships from around the world. The story of Canary Wharf begins with water. In the 19th century, London was becoming one of the most important trading cities on earth. Britain was building connections across continents. Goods arrived from Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, Europe, and the Americas. The River Thames became the heartbeat of global trade. But there was a problem. The river was overcrowded. Ships waited for days to unload cargo. Trade was growing faster than London could manage. So the city built docks, massive docks. And here, on the Isle of Dogs, the West India Docks opened in 1802. This area became one of the busiest trading centers in the world. Sugar, tea, coffee, spices, fruit, timber, rum. Products from every corner of the planet passed through these docks. At the time, this was not a financial district. It was a working district. Thousands of dock workers labored here every day in difficult conditions. Cranes moved constantly, ships lined the water, warehouses stretched across the area. The air smelled of salt, smoke, wood, and industry. This place was noisy, busy, rough, alive. And interestingly, the name Canary Wharf is believed to come from fruit trade linked to the Canary Islands. Even the name carries the memory of global trade. But history never stands still. As the world changed after the Second World War, shipping technology changed too. New container ships became larger and more efficient. Older docks like these could no longer compete. Gradually, the ships disappeared. Trade moved elsewhere. Jobs vanished. By the 1970s and early 1980s, this area had fallen into decline. Many warehouses stood empty. Communities struggled. Unemployment rose. For many people, the story of this place seemed finished. And this is where the story becomes truly inspiring, because great cities are not remembered for avoiding hardship. They are remembered for rebuilding after hardship. In the 1980s, leaders, planners, engineers, architects, and investors imagined something almost unbelievable. What if this abandoned dockland could become a modern business district? At first, many people doubted the idea. Some thought it was impossible. Why would giant companies move here? Who would travel here? Why build skyscrapers so far from the traditional financial center of the City of London? But vision always sounds unrealistic before it becomes reality. Construction began. Slowly, the empty docks transformed. Rail connections improved. Roads improved. New buildings rose from the ground. Then came one of the most symbolic moments in the history of Canary Wharf. In 1991, One Canada Square was completed. At the time, it became the tallest building in the United Kingdom. That pyramid roof became a symbol of a new London, modern, ambitious, international. But success did not arrive instantly. Even during construction, there were financial difficulties. Recession hit. Some investors worried the project would fail, yet the rebuilding continued. And eventually, global financial companies began arriving. Banks, law firms, technology companies, media organizations. Today, Canary Wharf is one of the most important financial centers in the world. Companies here connect London to New York, Singapore, Dubai, Frankfurt, Tokyo, and beyond. Money moves across continents in seconds. Decisions made in these buildings influence economies around the globe. But the true importance of Canary Wharf is bigger than finance. This place represents transformation. It proves that decline does not have to be permanent. Think about that for a moment. An abandoned dockyard became a global financial powerhouse. That transformation carries a lesson for every human being. Your current situation is not always your final destination. A difficult chapter is not the end of the story. Like Canary Wharf, people can rebuild themselves too. And there is another important lesson hidden in this place. Canary Wharf was never built by one person. It required thousands of people. Architects imagined, engineers calculated, construction workers built, train operators connected the city, cleaners maintained buildings, security guards protected spaces, office workers created businesses. Progress is always collective. No great city rises alone. And perhaps that is something modern society sometimes forgets. We celebrate famous names, but entire systems depend on ordinary people doing extraordinary work quietly every day. The person serving coffee at 6 a.m., the maintenance worker fixing problems overnight, the receptionist greeting visitors, the transport staff keeping London moving. Without them, the towers mean nothing. Because buildings do not create greatness, people do. Today, Canary Wharf continues evolving. It is no longer only a financial district. Now it includes parks, restaurants, homes, universities, art spaces, shops, health centers, and cultural events. People live here. Families walk beside the river. Children play where cargo ships once stood. That may be the most beautiful transformation of all. A place once built purely for trade has become a place for human life. And as technology changes the future again, with artificial intelligence, digital banking, remote work, and global connectivity, Canary Wharf continues adapting. That ability to adapt is the reason places survive. And it is also the reason people survive. The world changes constantly. Industries change, technology changes, economies change. But those willing to learn, evolve, and imagine new possibilities continue moving forward. Canary Wharf teaches us that the future belongs not only to the strongest, but to the most adaptable. Ladies and gentlemen, when you stand here today and look at the skyline, you are not only looking at modern buildings, you are looking at centuries of history. You are looking at sailors and dock workers, at immigrants and entrepreneurs, at engineers and dreamers, at people who refuse to let decline become destiny. This place carries the spirit of reinvention, and perhaps that is the true message of Canary Wharf. No matter how empty things appear, no matter how difficult the moment becomes, human beings possess an extraordinary ability to begin again. The docks became towers, the warehouses became offices, the silence became opportunity, and maybe in our own lives we can do the same.